Oh, baby, when you talk like that, da da da. I don't know this song. Neither do I. I know that first part. Kind of a catchy tune. Yeah, it is. Good morning, boys and girls. It's time for the Cap Guy show, starring the Cap Guy. That's him and me. I'm JT, and yes, we're in a hot Oklahoma. Another hot day today. Should have done sunshine on my shoulder, gives me sunburn. That ain't how it goes. Well, that's what we got when we go out. You went out yesterday and went thrifting. Yeah, I did. He hit 6 stores. He's going to show you what he stores because he ain't listed none of it yet. He was a tired puppy again. And then we'll go into what we sold. And then we're going to give you some tips today on things that you need to do and how he picks stuff. And, well, I'll let him tell you. If you like what you see, hit the thumbs up button, like, subscribe, and we'll get on with the show. Y'all have a great day. I'm going to comment from the side as I always do. That's what he's going to do, too. Yeah, he's right. I decided yesterday morning I went out to see one of my daughters, and I decided to hit some stores I hadn't hit in a long time. See what I could find. I found a few things, and I'll show you those, and then I'm going to talk about some of the ways I look for stuff, because, you know, when I talk about this, not everybody, there's a picker out there that says he knows everything about everything, he's lying, because none of us know everything. And watching other channels is how we learn. I mean, not only mine, but other people's channels. When you're watching the channels, you pick up things. And I make notes in my phone while I'm watching a channel if I see something that interests me that they're picking that I'm going to be on the lookout for. And some are one-offs. You're not going to find them hardly ever. And then there's some like the Hoka shoes. Now I'm looking for them, and I found 2 pair now just recently. I haven't even listed the second pair yet because I've got to clean them up. But first we'll get into what we sold, and it was only 5 sales yesterday. It was a decent, but we'll get into that, and then I'm going to show you what I sourced, and then I'm going to talk to you about some of the things that I do that may or may not help you. If you're a regular picker and you've been doing it for a while, then you know a lot of this stuff. If not, then maybe I can give you some help. So here we go. We're going to get into what we sold. First thing we sold, and I bought this on the last day Goodwill was open before the C word happened and they shut down. I found a bunch of Ham's beer mugs like this. And this was the only one that was Ken's Pizza, which was a famous pizzeria. I don't even know if it still exists. I doubt it does. They weren't really around here. But anyway, I paid 55 cents for this beer mug, and it's been sitting on a shelf in the eBay room since March 25th. And sold it for $24.95 plus shipping. And it went an 8x6x4 box. Luckily, it's only going to Arkansas. I always worry when I ship glass. Even though you bubble wrap it and paper and everything else to protect it, that don't mean they're not throwing it. So, 2015 was the profit on that glass, and I'll take that all day long. Sales, profits, profit. Next is a German Shepherd ball cap. And when I picked this up, I paid $1.49 for this cap at a thrift store. I actually thought it would probably sell pretty quick because there's a lot of people that own German Shepherd dogs. But it took a little while. I sold for $10.96 plus shipping, and I made $9.70 off that cap. The next I found at a yard sale just a couple of weeks ago. Paid $5 for these. She wanted 10. I talked her into doing 5. These are Harley Davidson women's boots, size 10, RN number 85514. And I had them for $48. I got an offer yesterday for like $30, and we went back and forth. Finally, I think their highest offer was $37, and my lowest was going to be $40. And when I declined the offer after several times, and these are in really good shape. They've got a little scuffing on the toe, but nothing else is wrong with them, and I cleaned them up. They sent me a message and said, would you go back to the 40? And so I did. I had 5 invested, so those went in a shoebox and USPS, and I made $31.70 off those boots when it was all said and done. If you notice here, I've got the little tubes. Those are bubble wrap tubes, and on boots, I use them to make the boots stand up rather than fold over because, you know, they're thin there. So you could cut those down and make it even more professional. But just a tip there if you want to use it, if you're selling boots. The next is a Bridgestone Golf Snapback Cap Tour B. I found this at the bins for 18 cents. And I sold it for $9.94 plus shipping, and I'm going to make $9.45 on that. It's in really good condition. It was pretty pristine. I don't even know if it's ever been worn. And I've had it for a little while. The next item and the last item is a Ralph Lauren Polo dress shirt, size 16.5. I paid $5.98 for this last summer. And again, if you listen to my channel, you know that I'm getting out of this Ralph Lauren stuff. There just isn't enough money for me to mess with it, in my opinion. But sold it for $16 plus shipping. I paid $5.98, so I made $8.35 when it was all said and done. And on the day, I had 5 sales, $13.20 in cost of goods, $101.85 in sales, and $79.35 in profit. And I will take it. It's not a great day. The last couple of days haven't been what I call super days, but again, 13 into 79 profit. We're going to do that all day long. Anybody that wouldn't needs to get checked. All right, now I'm going to show you what I sourced, and I'm going to try to set this up. There you go. You can look at my Navy stuff. For those of you who've never seen my channel, that's the equator, the international date line. I went to the Panama Canal. I did it all. Went around the world in 4 years. I got lucky because I served on 2 different ships, and they were both on opposite coasts. So I got to make cruises to the Med and to the Indian Ocean and Western Pacific, all that good stuff. All right. And I'm not going to do these in a particular order, but I'm just going to grab them and show you what I got at each store. And some were Goodwills and some were Salvation Armies. I didn't hit any other off-the-wall stuff. 32 ink, 55 cents. That'll get me at least $15, $20. And at this one, I picked up a couple of shirts. This one is Sims. Any Sims fishing stuff. This is probably a $3.33 purchase, I believe. I'm going to put my glasses back on. Need reading glasses. Yeah, $3.33. So this was at a Goodwill. Sims fishing stuff. I don't care if it's fishing bags, fishing hats, whatever. Sims stuff sells. So that there's in a Montana fishing spot. This one is an older tank top. And you see who's on it. Mr. Mickey. But it's an older tag. So again, I paid $3.33 for that. This one is the Incredible Hulk. And it's not vintage. But I did look it up, and it's got a decent price on it. Maybe $12, $13 that these are going for. And it's my size, so, hey, I may wear an Incredible Hulk Marvel shirt. A little old for that, but you know what? The older I get, the more eccentric I get. Dallas Cowboys, my size also. This is Andre Ware, paid for the Cowboys. This is Reebok, and I paid $5.35 for that. So that was that store. I spent $17.24 at that store. Next item was a Salvation Army, and I got a bunch of games, and I spent a total of $52, and I'm gonna just show them to you. You got this. Now here's where I got a little confused. They had a ton of these Wii games, and these aren't the typical cases for Wii games, but if you look at them, and this ain't a good example, let me show you another one. They're in Spanish. It's Wii Spanish. So I didn't know if it was something I'd get in trouble for listing on eBay or not. I Googled it, and they're on there. And the disc it doesn't look like the American copy. I mean, totally. But it isn't a black market as far as cheap paper attached to the disc or something where somebody copied it from a computer. I don't even know if you can do that with a Wii game, but they were $1.99 each, so I grabbed every one they had. I mean, they had a lot of the Wii games, and so some of these are pretty valuable. So I grabbed them, and I'm going to try to list them and see what happens. For $1.99, I'll pick them up, and there are also some games that are fairly desirable in there. This is one of the PS2 football games with Terrell Owens. It's pretty valuable, so grab that. Wii Fit I don't grab anymore because I've got several, but Wii Fit Plus has a little value. Here's one of the best finds of the day as far as video games. This is NCAA 13. I wished I could find 14. That's a $150 game, but 13 is about a $30, $35 game, and I'm going to comp it really well to make sure that it's got some value. There's a second Michael Jackson. I got 2 of these. Ice Age. And then I got a PlayStation. I guess it's some kind of a instruction thing on Blu-ray. So I grabbed it. And then the last one is, doesn't have its original case. So again, I spent $52 there. And the next store, the first thing I found was a Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon on a Gildan tag. And again, it's not on a remade tag, but I don't know how old it is. I can't find a date, and I'll look at it a little closer. And then while I was there, I also got a bunch of games. And I think I spent, oh, here it is, $47 at this store. And I also got a Sega system. I won't show you that because if you know what a Sega system looks like. They had some of these Sega games, and this one was fairly valuable. It's worth a little over $20, but there's the price tag they had on it. That shows you what Goodwill's doing now. They're getting into the game of reselling and making money. And but luckily, yellow tag, half off. So I did pay for it because I didn't have a game for the Sega, and the Sega was marked at $29, but it also had a yellow tag. So guess what? I paid $15 for the Sega system. That's pretty good for a system. This one has got some value. This one had some value in it because it's sealed in its package still. So those make them more valuable when you find them sealed. Here's another one sealed in its package. And again, I didn't pay. And then I got a bunch of these, and I paid $5.25 for a bunch of these discs. And I know that anime is popular. And I'll flip it over so you can see it. But all these are anime type stuff, and looks like Japanese. Every one of them's in Japanese. So I figure there'll be some need for that. And for $5, I got a thing full of them. So not bad there. The next one, got that one. NCAA 11, which is also decent. Only reason I grabbed an NBA one, 2K16, is because it's on PS4, which is a newer system. I got another one of these Guitar World Heroes, and then I got the Michael Jackson American game, and I spent $10.94 at that store. At another Goodwill, or no, this was actually Salvation Army. If I can get them all over here. Running out of room. All right, this one I spent $22.74. Another Wii game. I got a fedora, and you know how I am about fedoras. This one is a Dobbs from Rothschild's. So let's just finish the show like this. Strangers in the night, exchanging glances, lovers at first sight. Oh, wait a minute. What were the chances we'd be making love? Oh, never mind. All right, I'll get off of it. Never seen this one before, so I grabbed it. And again, PS2s I just don't do well with. But when I see games I'm not familiar with, I grab them. And then this one is full of karaoke CDs. And I did comp one set of them. There's a bunch of these all 2000s. And those go for about $25 for the set. And again, I've got tons of karaoke games. And this was $5.99, so I definitely grabbed that. And then I think I found one shirt in there as well. Yeah. Hi, my name is Slim Shady. This is an Eminem shirt, and this shirt's over $20. What else? At this thrift store, I spent $16.76, and this one I got ball caps. I got a Titleist with Texas-Oklahoma golf tournament on it, so that'll have a little value to fans like me. This one I grabbed because I didn't know what it was, but that looks like KD's signature on it, and I'm familiar with his signature. I don't know what the star is. If anybody knows what that exclamation point with a star is, and there's also another autograph on it. But for $232, I'm going to look it up and take my chances. And then this is an old Rangers ball cap, snapback, but it's logo 7. And logo 7 means it's old. So that's probably 90s, I'm guessing. In this Goodwill, the only thing I found was this lens. It's a Tokina lens, and it's, there you go. And it comps at over $45, and again, it's yellow tag, so I gave half. So I spent $21.75 in there, so I should make about $20 on that. And then I got two more. I got this one, which isn't that valuable. I got Call of Duty, and again, only because it was on PS4. The military games don't seem to be that great. Wii Plus again, Fit Plus, which is more valuable. And then the last store, I spent $11.75, and I got 3 things. I got a kid's Florida Gators jersey, but something you don't see a lot on jerseys is Tebow's actual name. So that's a little bit older because he hasn't played in a while. And then I got a Marshall Faulk Rams jersey. Yeah, my brother Darren, that's his team. And he lives down in Texas. And that's an XL. And that's $5.35. And then this was the last thing I grabbed. This was $1.71. And it's sealed, never been opened. It's 2 ships, the USS Carolina, BB-55, and USS Intrepid CV-11. And this comps, there's only 2 listed on eBay, and they're trying to get like $60 for them. I'll drop mine below that, and I'll sell mine. That's it for that. Now, one of the things I was going to talk about was I talked yesterday about postal and not going to the post office. And some of the things that I do when I'm yard selling, I guess I'll say, or estate selling, because I don't know everything. And when people say to me all the time, well, I'd love to do that, but I don't know what to look for. Well, again, I've told you a million times, I don't either. A lot of times I find stuff, and some of the stuff in here that I sourced yesterday, I'm taking chances on. That's one of the things you got to do. You got to take chances. And if the cost of goods are low and it's a couple of bucks, take a chance, because it may not be worth a lot of money, but if you get your money back and a little bit extra, then you're good. When you're obviously you're going to look at condition and appearance. Condition and appearance is everything, especially with shoes and clothes. Unless on clothes now, t-shirts, I've sold t-shirts with holes in them and stains, bleach stains in them, because they were really vintage and people wanted them anyway, and they were at least wearable or collectible. Obviously, if it's electronics and other things, you want to make sure it's working or it's in condition where if you put batteries in it, you think it will. And again, when I get it at the bins, the little trinkets, and they make noise and they're not working, I mean, I'm spending 69 cents a pound. It may weigh, maybe a dime's worth of stuff. I'm going to bring it home and take that chance, because I'll throw it away if it don't work, but I only got a dime in it. So that's some of the things. How old is it? Is it vintage? A lot of people call everything vintage on eBay. Most things got to be at least 25 years old to be considered an antique. Clothing, I think the norm is like 20 years. So be careful listing things as vintage when it's not vintage. If it's single stitch, like a t-shirt, it's likely vintage because it's probably early 2000 or pre-2000. Is it viable? I mean, is it something somebody's going to use or want to collect? Or is it just, one man's junk's another man's treasure. Maybe somebody just wants it. I don't know. But comp it. When you're on the eBay app or any other app that you use, and there are other apps that you can take pictures, not all of them work really good when you take a picture, because you'll take a picture of the Dymo printer and it'll come up with the fedora. So it just doesn't make sense sometimes, even on eBay's app. But when you do go on eBay's app, you need to go up in the upper right-hand corner once you've searched the item and you're specific with the item to match the item that you have. And likely, if you have it, it's on eBay too. And then filter it and look at condition as used, if it's used, what it's sold for, and you change the button to green to go to solds. And then at the top, I also go to recent first. I filter the sort again and do a recent, so I know what recently it's selling for. And especially with video games, I want to know what the trend is on the video games. During the big pandemic when everybody's at home, games went up. Now they're coming down some. So that's another one. Google it. If you don't know and you can't find it, Google it. And that'll give you more history on the item. It'll give you more options on what it's going for on maybe Amazon or other places. And then don't forget to haggle with people. I'll haggle in a Goodwill, but I don't always win there. But haggle with them. See if you can get a better deal. I'm not going to be like, I see some people where, it's $5 and will you take one? I mean, most of the time I may make one offer, but if I know the value of the item, I'm not so greedy that I'm not going to, miss over a couple of dollars. I'm going to pay it and gladly take it, especially when I know I'm going to make a ton off of it. So, and then bundle. Hey, if I buy all these or all this, well, what kind of good deal will you make me? That works for me a lot. And like I said, take chances. Go with your gut. The doll clothes, I kind of knew what doll clothes were. I've got watchers all over those things now. The scuba gear that I bought last week, I've got watchers all over that, and that's ending today. So I will know I've got several $100s that I could make off this if this goes the way I think it will, and it'll end at some point. So tomorrow, tune in. I may have those sold. But use your gut. I mean, if you've been doing this, you kind of know. And again, if the cost of goods are low, grab it. Take that chance and end up with an inventory room like I got. I'm just kidding. But anyway, I hope I helped you again today. Just take your chances. Go out and make some money. If you like what you've seen or heard, hit the thumbs up, like, and subscribe. And I will talk to you again tomorrow, as I always do. Cap Guy out.